Well, here you have it. It's the finished product. I didn't paint the face of the manifold here. I don't know if it's going to affect the seal on that gasket or not. I put it all along there. That's where the gasket goes. But I left the manifolds relatively clean. I'm going to take a little wire wheel on that and clean it up. But it turned out pretty good. I sure like that paint. It's pretty awesome stuff. KBS stuff. It's pretty expensive, but it really dries hard, and you can put it on real thin, and it just kind of melts right onto the metal. You got to prep your metal, get all the oils off first, and then you hit it with that phosphate etching stuff, and then that kind of preps it all, and then you paint it, and bingo. Looks really nice. It's pretty close to the stock color. It's not, exactly, but, and again, I'm not going to worry about it. I didn't get down in the plug holes. I was afraid of getting that stuff down into threads because it could be a real challenge to get that out of there. But anyway, these are where the rockers go, and I kept those all nice and cleaned out so that I didn't get no paint down on those. And that's where your distributor goes, fuel pump. And as you can see, I got the oil pump on. I'm about ready to, I think I've got everything pretty much assembled on the bottom end. I'm going to get the oil pan ready to paint and get it painted, flip this engine upside down, and then we'll paint the, we'll put that on. So much of this stuff's going to be hidden. All this area here, this whole thing, there's a pan that covers all that, because you got your push rod, or your what are they called? Can't think of it right now, but anyway. And then your push rods come up through here, and they hit on the bottom of here. Lifters. Now your lifters go down in here, and then your cam is down inside there. Kind of maybe see it. But anyway, these have got to be cleaned up really good. I mean, I got to oil them really well. They look pretty decent, but and then your push rods come up from there, and they go up through the hole and onto the bottom of your rocker. And then there's little gaskets, cork gaskets, that go around each one of the spark plug holes, and then you put this thing on, this pan, and then it seals this whole thing off. The scary part that I'm worried about is right there. That's where the head was cracked, and it was brazed, and then the inside of the head was sealed with some sort of substance. The machine shop did that. He pressure checked it, said it was good, but if I get a leak, if that thing starts leaking, the only way I'll know it is I'll be getting antifreeze in my oil, because this is all covered. This whole thing is going to be covered, and so you can't tell if that's squirting out, dripping oil or water, antifreeze, or anything. I mean, because it's all covered. And I was debating whether to try to start it without that pan on it, but you can't, because this is the return tube right here for your rocker arms. This thing here. So you got an oil line that comes up here, goes down through this hole here, and then goes through this hole down to the other side, and it comes out, where's it come out at? No, right here. Here's where it comes out at. That line goes right through the engine, comes out, and then you've got an oil pump, an external pump that pumps oil up to your rockers. I showed in previous videos then, the oil, these are hollow, these rocker arm shafts, and it goes through, and if you can see right on top of the rocker arms there's little holes, and then it spurts out these holes and that's what lubricates your rocker arms. And see, the end of these are plugged off. But anyway, you get a pressure, and what this has got a little crimp in it, and I didn't realize what that little crimp was for. Kind of restricts the flow, so it kind of puts like more of a pressure to shoot the oil both ways out those rocker arms. So I don't know, we'll see what's going to happen there. I'll just have to check that when I get it running, because I can run it with the valve cover off. It might splash a bit of oil, but we'll see what kind of pressure we're getting. And then what I can do is always crimp this down a little bit more, and that will increase the pressure, the oil pressure to the rocker arms. But anyway, then any bypass oil, or oil that gets past it, as you see right here, there's a little tiny hole right there. So that'll spray up too. But any oil that goes past that goes down in here, and there's a hole down there. And it goes right through that hole and comes back down into here. I don't know, I can't remember. There's a tube. There might be a tube. It runs up from, you know, from here to there. I don't remember. This is why pictures would have been good. But anyway, kind of the basic operation of it. But as you can see, I've got to get it back together. That's the thing. It's like my memory is not good. This is a plug for heater hose, and I'll be unplugging because I got a heater in this that I bought, or that I had come with the truck, be put in it. But this is all covered. There's a big timing cover here that goes over. Not all this will be covered, but the majority of it. So it's like to paint it, it's like, well, you know, it isn't seen. This is where your oil filler goes, and that's where the dipstick goes. This is just a petcock drain for your antifreeze, and free that up a little bit. But I remember most of it, you know, but there's just going to be some little things that are going to be iffy. So, in this little deal here, I've got to cut. There's a fitting that twisted off right there. I've got to cut that and pull that out of there, clean that hole up, and that's where my temperature gauge will screw into. I think it's temperature gauge or oil pressure. It's one of the two. But anyway, I think it's temperature because that's the head. So here's the got my harmonic balancer. I've got the oil pan. This is what I was in quandary of. Where does this little guy go? Well, I looked in some of my old videos and I saw a wear mark on the inside, and so where this will go is on the inside of that timing cover. It goes in like that, and then that timing cover goes over that, and then this thing covers the inside of this timing cover, this little gizmo here, and so this thing goes over it like that, and it kind of shields it. So yeah, you can kind of see if there's a little bit of a wear mark right there, and that is that. So, and this slides over that shaft, so this has to go on like this. I guess I showed you backwards, didn't I? Yeah. This goes like this, so this goes on here like this. Like I said, this is what, it goes like this. Yeah, it goes like that, because this thing here goes through that hole. So, but anyway, yeah, so this thing here fits on this like this, not the other way. Yeah, that's how it goes. But anyway, it's just, this little doodad here is an oiler. That's pretty wild. That was all plugged. We get them in the shop, cleaned it up. But that shoots oil out and oils your gears up. Pretty awesome. Anyway, enough rambling. And I mentioned I got the rest right here. So my schedule's pretty free right now. So I'm going to be good to go and start assembling this stuff and getting things painted and hopefully get this front. So that's all we have for now. So thanks for watching, and we'll keep you updated.